What's up everybody, and thank you for joining me for another video. My name is Whack4863, but you can call me Whack. In today's video, I want to give you 5 tips to leveling up your battle pass quickly. Now, before I get into the tips, I want to make sure everybody's on the same page. So, you can do the battle pass from your solo game. And what you have access to in your solo game is the admin panel. So if we go into our start menu or our pause menu, we go to settings, over to server settings, and click the make me admin button, we then have access to the admin panel. You can see it right here, or you can press shift insert to pull that up. Once we're in the admin panel, there's a few things that I like to do right off the bat, which is going to be clicking cloak, clicking God, clicking no spell cost, and then setting the time to noon and freezing time. You can additionally turn hunger off, and if you want to, you can select no sprint cost so that you are not using stamina. Once you're in admin mode, you have a lot of tools that you can use that will make leveling the battle pass much simpler. For example, getting around the map, you can just hold control and right click, and that is going to take you to another location on the map so that you can travel around very quickly if you come across one of the challenges to visit a specific location. Now let's get into the actual battle pass. You need 1000 XP per level to increase the battle pass. So every time you gain 1000 XP, your level in the battle pass will go up. The XP is gained by doing different challenges. And what's really important with these challenges is that you have the XP multipliers. You gain 5 XP multipliers each day. Those will be applied directly to each one of the challenges that is on your page. That leads into my first tip, which is to bank your multipliers. As you can see, I have XP multipliers remaining of 0. If I don't claim any challenges for 5 days, I will have XP multipliers across each one of my challenges, and I will have a total of 20 XP multipliers remaining. So my first tip is, even if you're doing these challenges every day, don't claim them for 5 days. Wait until you have the 20 banked XP multipliers here. The reason for that actually leads into my next tip, which is to focus on these right 2 cards here. The reason being is because these 2 cards will give you the rarest challenges. So most of the time they will be rare or above in these 2 cards, giving you the most XP you can get on any of the challenges. You can see the rare challenge is worth 70 XP and the common challenge is worth 30 XP. Now, these numbers may not seem like they're very far apart. However, when you add the 10 times multiplier to it, it makes a big difference. So a common challenge is worth 300 experience, which is about 1/3 of your total 1000 experience that you need for a level. Where the rare is worth 700 experience, which is about 3/4 of a total level. So focusing on these 2 is going to make a big difference. The legendary challenges are 150 experience. Multiply that by 10 and you have 1500 experience, which means it's going to give you a level and a half to the battle pass. So you're always going to want to focus on the rarest of challenges. Now, I mentioned not claiming challenges earlier in the video, and you might think, well, why wouldn't I claim it? It's just XP that's going to go away. Well, it's not. When you don't claim challenges, it actually stays complete in the rotation of these challenges. So unless you're really close to an unlock that you want or a level, I recommend not claiming any challenges unless you have multipliers for when you claim. Because claiming a challenge for 70 XP instead of 700 XP just isn't worth it. Now that leads me into my next tip, which is using the admin panel to spawn creatures. Let's say you have to skin 5 crocodiles. Well, you could spend a bunch of time running around in areas where there's crocodiles, killing them, and then skinning them one by one. However, what you can do in the admin panel is simply type in the word crocodile, and it's going to give you options to spawn in. Holding shift on your keyboard and clicking on what you want to spawn in is going to spawn multiples of 5. You can then use the kill all NPCs button at the bottom of the admin panel to kill them all in the place where they spawned, and then you can harvest them all very easily in a stack and complete that challenge much quicker. Now that leads into my next tip. You do not always have to complete dungeons when it says to do so. If you know how to spawn in the final boss for that dungeon, you can do that through the admin panel and then kill it in the location that you spawned it, and most of the time that will complete the challenge. I have run across a couple of instances where this doesn't work, but for the most part this is going to work to complete that challenge. It does take some knowledge of the admin panel, especially if you're playing on SIPTA. You have to know how the different vault bosses are listed in the admin panel in order to find them. However, if you just type SIPTA into the list, you can see we have the devolved bat, we have the bat boss, we have the boss for the demon spiders. So it's not super difficult. Just do a little bit of playing around and searching in there until you find what you're looking for. And remember, if you spawn in the wrong thing, this kill all NPCs button is a great way to get rid of anything that you didn't want. However, my last tip is going to save you the most amount of time, and it's actually how to kill these things without even using a weapon. What you want to do is spawn in whatever creature it is you needed to kill, and then while you are looking at the ground, you are going to use Control, Shift, and Delete. You don't want to be looking at the target when you do this. If you look at the target when you do this, it will not count. But if you're looking at the ground, it will count as if you took out your weapon and whittled its hit points all the way down to 0. So again, that's Control, Shift, Delete while looking at the ground, and that's going to kill all the enemies in the area. Now don't do this near your base, because this will also destroy your base and your pets if you have them following. So you want to be in a secluded area where nothing else that you want to keep or maintain is around. Now I've got a quick bonus tip for anybody that made it this far in the video. Now there are a couple of challenges that prove to be a little bit more difficult than some of the others, and those are going to be kill an enemy with poison or completely sunder an enemy. I used two different pieces of equipment to do this. One is the weapon Feroxic Daggers. That's going to stack poison very fast, and that's what I use for any of the poison challenges. If you get the Sunder challenge, I use the Daggers of the Outer Dark because that will apply Sunder every time you hit. So it's very easy to stack Sunder up to 5 on any enemy without killing it. Now I want to know, do you have any really cool ways of speeding through the battle pass? Leave those in the comments section below. I'd like to thank all my YouTube members for your continued support. Y'all are absolute legends. If you'd like to become a legend, there's a button that says join on this page. Click that for details. There's 2 videos on the screen. Click one of those to watch next, and I'll meet you over there.